The forest air was thick with the scent of pine needles and damp earth. Sad Mouse sat perched on a moss-covered log, his tiny chin resting on his paws as he confided in the ancient oak tree beside him. Years of relentless bullying had left him wounded, his spirit as fragile as a fallen leaf. He had stumbled upon a bustling town a few hours prior, the city lights and sounds both overwhelming and alien. Just as despair threatened to consume him, a gentle voice broke the silence.
Hey, the little fella! You all right?
Mortimer, a kind-hearted mouse with fur the color of rich mahogany, stood before him. His eyes held a deep understanding that mirrored the sadness in Sad Mouse's own. He offered a comforting hand, inviting Sad Mouse to his humble tent nearby. As they walked, Mortimer shared his own burden, the heart-wrenching story of his missing twin brother. Market, Sad Mouse found solace in knowing that he wasn't alone in his suffering. Together, they drifted off to sleep under the watchful gaze of the moon. The next morning, as they ventured deeper into the forest, a familiar sight jolted Sad Mouse. The town he had barely escaped loomed ahead, its towering buildings now seeming both menacing and strangely alluring. A strange feeling washed over him, a sensation of being pulled, his body acting against his will. He was being drawn towards the town, his small legs carrying him towards an unknown fate. He awoke in a cold, sterile chamber, the air thick with the scent of chemicals. A chilling realization crept over him. He was trapped, a subject in some cruel experiment. He saw Mortimer in a neighboring chamber, his eyes wild, his movements erratic. He was no longer the kind mouse he had met in the forest. He was a prisoner too, a plaything in the hands of unseen forces. A glimpse of Minnie, a petite mouse with a soft smile and kind eyes. Through the glass of his chamber brought a flicker of hope. They exchanged panicked whispers, but a cold hand snatched Minnie away, her cries echoing in the sterile silence. Mortimer's rage erupted, shattering the glass of his chamber. With a desperate cry, Sad Mouse followed him, leaping out of the window and into the unknown. He stumbled through the city streets, his body a puppet, his movements controlled by a sinister force. A flash of silver, a cold metal knife forced him to stop. Desperation gnawed at him. He found himself grabbing pills, desperate for a way to fight back. Minutes later, he found Mortimer at the edge of the forest, a wild look in his eyes. Back in the familiar, comforting confines of Mortimer's tent, Sad Mouse tried to sleep, but the peaceful silence was shattered by growls and heavy footsteps. A sickening crash sent shards of wood flying through the air. He crawled to the lock, his heart pounding. There, before him, lay Mortimer's disembodied head, staring up at him with empty sockets. Suddenly, a torrent of thoughts, twisted and dark, flooded his mind. He saw the town, the terrifying experiments, the cruel manipulation. He raced towards the village, the town he had tried to escape, only to find missing posters with Mortimer's face on them. He collapsed, his mind overwhelmed. He woke up in a fiery abyss, a place of eternal torment. The devil, an imposing figure with eyes burning like embers, towered over him. He accused Sad Mouse, blaming him for the horrors he had endured. Minions snatched him away, dragging him towards a fiery pit. Just as he felt the searing heat of the flames, he awoke. He was in heaven, bathed in a warm, ethereal light. Mortimer stood beside him, his face radiating peace. He had chosen the right path. He whispered, his voice a soft melody. Minnie rose to meet them, her smile as bright as the sun. Sad Mouse gazed at the familiar faces, his heart overflowing with joy and relief. Memories of his past life, the bullying, the fear, the despair flashed before his eyes. He looked at Minnie, her hand outstretched, and took it. They walked hand in hand through the streets of heaven, free from the darkness that had once consumed them, finally safe and at peace. Suddenly, a figure appeared before them, radiating pure light. It was God. Sad Mouse's heart pounded, fear gripping him. What would he say? Would he be judged? But God spoke with a gentle voice.
You have lived your lives, but your stories are not yet finished. I have a gift for you, a second chance.
Joy exploded within Sad Mouse, Minnie, and Mortimer. Their eyes shone brighter than the stars above. They embraced once more, their happiness amplified by this unexpected gift. The next thing they knew, they were tumbling through the air. A dizzying descent that ended with a soft thud on a familiar street. Sad Mouse looked around, recognizing the familiar bakery across the road and the corner shop where he used to buy his cheese. They were back on Earth, given a second chance at life. Mortimer, driven by curiosity, approached Sad Mouse.
What happened to you, Sad Mouse? Why were you so, well, sad?
Sad Mouse hesitated, the memory still vivid in his mind. I was bullied, my business was failing, and I just felt so alone. He swallowed, the pain still lingering. Mortimer's eyes widened.
Wait, your business, it closed down.
Sad Mouse nodded, pointing towards a dilapidated building in the distance. That was it, the Sad Mouse Cafe. Mortimer's eyes lit up.
Well, if that's the case,
He grinned.
we can fix it. We can make it better than ever. This time, we'll call it Happy Mouse Cafe.
And so, the three set to work mending the broken building, painting it bright yellow, and filling it with the aroma of delicious food. They worked tirelessly, driven by the joy of their second chance. Soon, the Happy Mouse Cafe was bustling with life. The food was delicious, the atmosphere joyful, and people came from far and wide to experience the magic of the place. Sad Mouse had never felt so content. Sometimes Minnie would get to Sad Mouse's head, reminding him of his past failures, but Mortimer would be there to remind him of their shared triumph, their second chance, and the love that bound them together. The memory of their journey through heaven, the unexpected gift from God, and the love of his friends kept Sad Mouse going. He had learned that even when life throws you curveballs, there's always hope, always a second chance, and a chance to make things right. And in the warmth of the Happy Mouse Cafe, he discovered that true happiness lay not in the absence of sadness, but in the strength to overcome it, hand in hand with those who love you.